it's Farishta. Welcome back. Today I thought I would shoot a little makeup review video for you guys, just give you my insight. This is actually going to be my second time filming it. The first time I was looking back over at the footage and it just wasn't to my liking, and that might be the perfectionist in me, but I'm just gonna redo it because it just was so cringe to watch over. So today's star product is going to be the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Stick Foundation. I was really surprised about how much I love this. Obviously, you know, everyone speaks highly of their own brand, but I love the liquid version so much I knew I had to get my hands on this and try it, so we will go into it with that. So since I'm using a stick foundation, I was kind of looking over like my personal kit and I was like, I actually have a lot of stick products myself that I like to use, and I was having a conversation with my cousin and she said how she felt intimidated by like stick blushes and stuff like that, so I thought let me try and use as much stick products as possible for our look today. And before we get into it, just want to remind you guys to please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you like or didn't like. I know I have a backdrop today which is new for me. My studio is just such a mess right now. I'm trying to reorganize my kit but also set up some like picture frames and shelves that I hadn't before, so I just thought this is our best option right now. So let me know how you like it. Alright, and let's just jump right into it. So already I'm going to be cheating. I don't have a stick primer. I believe Milk Cosmetics has a couple. They have the blur one and the cooling one. Lancome has a stick primer. I believe Maybelline has a stick primer, but I'm not really enticed to go and try those, so I'm just going to be using the E.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer today. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't completely wowed the way people were talking about it, but you know, it did its job. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. It has a really nice feel to it. I know a lot of people like to compare it to the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer because they're very similar texture, packaging and stuff like that, but I find this is a lot creamier and I still need to use a little bit more than my Tatcha one. Okay, so I am all primed, so I'm going to be color correcting next. I'm going to be using the Live Tinted Hue Stick. I have the shade Perk here, which is a very light pink salmon-y color. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I always speak highly of Live Tinted. They're a great product. The founder Deepika is also a really great person who's trying to eradicate colorism in the beauty industry because there is a lot of that. I have had the privilege of meeting her in person. She's also such a great energetic person, like such great drive, and she's definitely an inspiration for me. So you can definitely go ahead and apply this just directly on the skin, but I like to warm it with my finger, and I'm just applying that around my mouth just because I do have some pigmentation going on there. There's nothing wrong with pigmentation, but there's also nothing wrong with wanting even skin. And same thing, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this under my eyes as well. And you don't need a crazy amount of this product either. A little bit goes a long way, and it's super creamy, just blends into the skin really nicely. So now our star product here, the Faux Filter Foundation. I have the shade 250G Cheesecake. I did notice that she came out with a few more in between shades, so there was one shade, just one darker than this, which was a new shade. I forget the name of it, but it was more of a peachy undertone, and I was so torn between the two. But I wear Cheesecake in the liquid, which is perfect for me, so I instead of like going back and forth, returning and exchanging, especially in the pandemic, I'm just like, let me stick to what I already am. And I love that the packaging is not super heavy, like it's not glass, there's no chance of it breaking, but it looks super sleek. I think there's like some haters on TikTok that are like, Huda Beauty's packaging is overrated. Like, no, you're a hater. Just like say you hate her and move on. So this is more of a medium to light coverage depending on how you like to apply it. I am gonna go for more of a medium coverage today, so I'm gonna do a few swipes, but just watch how that like just melts into the skin. I am obsessed, and I think the color match is really great. I'm glad I stuck to Cheesecake rather than going for the other shade. I know you can see the swatches on my face right now, but when it blends out, just oof. So I know she released a brush that went with it as well, but it's just a little excessive to buy the brush as well because I have so many. So I'm just going to be using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, which is kind of similar. Like I know the Huda one is a little bit more flat, but same concept, very dense. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. And it just blends out like a dream. A lot of stick foundations I find are a little too creamy and then therefore shiny, and then therefore, I don't know, I just find they have too much slip and therefore not as long lasting. But this is just so stunning. Like it just melts into the skin. Like it looks like my skin. Like when they say faux filter, like that's the vibe I'm getting from this. It really is like I have a faux filter on my skin. I know that the liquid foundation claims to have that faux filter as well, but I do find if you're not careful with it, it can get cakey very quickly because the smallest amount goes a long way. So you just want to be careful with the liquid foundation, but I think that the stick foundation is completely foolproof. So 100% has my approval. I've already got some friends that got it and loved it, so you're welcome. Also, shout out to e.l.f. brushes. They are so cheap but so great. So once again, I am cheating. I am not going to be using a stick concealer because I just haven't found one that I liked. I often find that they're too thick and creamy and then therefore creases, and it's just not very pretty. So I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Hydro Camo Concealer. I have the shade Light Sand, and I'm going to be using this one just under my eyes because I find that this is a little bit lighter but closer to my skin tone. So I am just applying that where I need it to actually conceal. Again, I know it looks lighter on camera, but trust the process. It looks very similar when I blend it out. Now to highlight, I'm going to be using the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer. This is very full coverage and a little bit more matte, so this will be great for highlighting. And they have very similar doe foot applicators. I'm going to be using the shade L300 Golden Ivory. So I'm just applying that where I have hollows, where I need to lift, because highlighting is all about bringing that area further out rather than deeper. I'm also going to be doing the bridge of my nose, my 5 head. I also like to do my Cupid's bow to make it appear bigger, and just the innermost part of my chin. I actually want to bring the highlight a little bit farther out to make it more wider. That way my forehead doesn't appear too high or too wide. It's all about the balance, baby. Now I'm gonna let the concealer dry down a little bit before we blend it out, just so I get optimal coverage. So in the meantime, I'm gonna contour. And to do contouring, I'm gonna be using the Fenty matchstick in the shade Truffle. I actually discovered the matchstick for contouring through a makeup artist here in the GTA. Her name is Anna. You can find her at AK Makeup on Instagram. She is just a wealth of knowledge for me, so I always really trust all her recommendations. I'm just going to be doing the hollows of my cheek, but just a little bit higher, just so we're lifting the face. I like to do my Cupid's bow under my lip to give it that shadow so it looks bigger, and then also of course around my forehead. And then just using the edge of the stick, because it is a little bit flat, I'm going to do my nose. So starting underneath my brow, which I find is like the most important part to really give the illusion of a narrow nose. And then on the inside there. And then doing that to make it nice and pointed. Again, I know it looks crazy, but trust the process. To blend out the contour, I'm going to be using another e.l.f. brush. This is the Buffing Foundation brush, which is a little bit more tapered, and it's very dense. So if you're blending out very pigmented products, this is great for that. And we're blending upwards, and it just melts into the skin so nicely. This does appear a little bit more intense on camera, but when we apply our setting powder on top, you want to keep in mind that it does take away a bit of the color, so you want to go a little bit more intense underneath. Always want to make sure we're blending into our forehead. I am sacrificing my cap today to blend into the hairline for you guys. We also want to make sure you blend down into where we have the highlight. For the more detailed areas, I'm going to be using the JD Lady Luxe Cosmetics brush here. It's a double-ended brush, so I'm using the nice fluffy side to go into those more detailed areas. As always, we're starting underneath our brow with that contour and blending it out underneath our brow. Now I'm just using a damp beauty sponge and going in and blending out what we have left. I find this method of letting it dry down a little bit before blending it down really does give optimal coverage, so we're not applying like 2-3 layers of concealer over and over again. Then whatever's left, I like to apply that on my lid. You want to make sure you're blending up to the side of the nose too, so we're snatching that nose contour a little bit more. If you ever find your concealer set a little bit too much and it's getting a little bit hard to blend out, you can always take a setting spray or a finishing spray and just spray that and go over it. And remember to blend up into that contour so that way you have a seamless blend. So I'm not going to be setting anything yet because we still do have some more cream products to apply. So next I'm going to be applying a cream stick blush. I have the Stila stick here. It is the Complete Harmony Cheek and Lipstick. I have the shade Sheer Gerbera, I want to say. Gerbera. I was surprised how much I love this product because, like I mentioned before, stick products can be a bit intimidating, but once you figure out the groove of it, it is so beautiful and seamless and just natural looking. Biggest piece of advice I can give you when using a stick product is to always warm it up. So what I like to do is I like to warm it up on the back of my hand first, and just by doing this it gives it a little bit of friction for it to warm, just aside from the warmth of your skin. Then I'm just taking my fingers for this, so again we have the warmth of our fingers, and then just lightly patting that in. And already just so obsessed with this product. Like, it really does look like a glow from within, like, or not glow, like color from within the skin, just so natural and dewy and just like. And then again, setting powder will always sheer it out a bit, so I am gonna go a little bit more intense. I love it. So next we have highlight, and this is another overlooked brand, not just product. It is Nude by Nature. They are an Australian brand. This is their highlight stick. I have the shade Champagne here. I am going to warm it up on the back of my hands, and it's such a nice shade for highlight because it's not overpowering, not too icy, just gives you a really nice glow from within look, which, if you can't tell by now, that is my philosophy with makeup. Even if you apply a powder and then this product on top, it's a really beautiful product because I find your makeup doesn't lift at all. And I find this isn't like a very in-your-face glitter, shimmer, light reflecting highlight. It's just a nice glow to the skin. I'm gonna be going into the temples and a bit underneath my brow as well. Like, I don't know if it's transferring well onto the camera, but I love the healthy, natural glow from within look. Just a little bit on the nose here. Now, if you did want that very intense, reflecting, pow in your face glitter, like you want to be seen from space, you could always use the Stila one here. This is the Trifecta Metallica Lip, Eye, and Cheek Stick. This is their popular shade Kitten in a stick form. I'm actually going to be using this on my eyes later as well, but just warming it up on my fingers. I do want just a little bit more of a reflection. A little bit goes a long way with this. So before I apply powder now, I'm just going to go back in and blend out any creasing we might have gotten, because you never ever want to set your creases. I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder here. I have this shade Pound Cake. Smelling this reminded me something. The stick foundation actually has no scent to it, so if you were very sensitive to that or you didn't like that, that's a great alternative for you to use. I do find that having perfume in products as such is like, I don't really understand it, but I guess it adds to the experience and that's what some people like, so I'm not mad about it. I would be more mad if it like the product wasn't great, but since the product is so amazing, I'm willing to overlook it. And I'm not baking, I'm just applying and blending it in. And I'm not going to be applying it all over my face. I'm just doing my under eyes, the bridge of my nose, very, very detailed, and my forehead. Yeah, see how the powder, even though like I didn't directly apply it onto my cheeks, it did fade it a little bit, but now it's just looking beautiful and just like a kiss of blush instead of like pow blush. I'm gonna go back into my detailed contour brush. Whatever is left on the product, I'm just gonna sharpen up my nose contour a little bit because I feel like I did lose it a bit with the powder. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows now. I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Brow Extension filler. When I first got this product, I wasn't the biggest fan because it is the shade medium brown, but once I played around with some other products and just used it a bit more, I finally found the perfect way to use it. It does have brow fibers in it, and I'm so glad that someone else had told me it has brow fibers in it because it legit looks like there's straight up hair in this, and I would have been so freaked out if I hadn't known otherwise. And it has a really nice hole to it, so I find like I don't even need a brow setter when I use this product. So I just like to go ahead and kind of move it because it's not a precise tip product. I don't want to go over too much, but I'm just lightly filling it in. And I don't know if it's because of the color or just the product itself, but it's not super pigmented, so I just get a very natural fill. If I was going for like an everyday look, this would be just perfect. I quickly throw it on. That took me like less than a minute and I'm done. I'm good to go. But I'm gonna snatch it up a little bit more now. I'm just going back and like feathering up the brow hairs a bit. And now I'm adding in the details with the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. I have the shade Deep Brown for this part, and I'm just using this one in my sparse areas and defining it now. So under the arch here is where I'm a little bit more sparse, and I'm sharpening up the tail. And in Ontario, we're in lockdown, so all personal services are closed until further notice. So if you are plucking or waxing your brows at home, I always suggest filling them into the shape that you like first, and then going ahead and plucking and tweezing anywhere you need to where there's hair outside of those areas. Again, like not a massive difference. So I've filled this area with the slimmer one just underneath the brows, and that tail is where it's more defined. So again, you can completely omit this step if you'd like, but I like doing this because it's just a little bit extra more definition. And there we have the brows. Now we can go on to the eyes now. I'm going to be using the NudeStix eyeshadows. The shades I'm using came in a particular set that I got over the summer, so I don't know if these shades are sold individually, but we're just going to go with it. I have the shade Burnish over here. It's like not coppery, but like a metallic-y brown shade. I'm just gonna apply that all over my eyelid, and these apply so easily on the eyelids. So if you are someone that just likes to quickly swipe on a color and go, this is beautiful for that. And these actually don't budge either, so no creasing if that is a concern of yours. I find that like I just put a bit of that concealer and powder on, and that was enough to help everything stay. So I've applied that all over my lid. I'm just gonna blend out the edges so it's not too harsh. I have like a fluffy all over brush here. This is from the Pure Cosmetics Barbie collaboration. So cute. So just lightly blending out the edges. I'm not blending out the actual lid because I want the intense color. And then I'm going to be using the shade Maroon'd on the outer corner and under the eye to add some definition. It's like a very almost like auburn brown shade. So I'm literally just making a V with this and then blending it out and then applying it underneath. So very, very creamy, but it blends out like a dream. And I'm actually going to use the same brush for that. So I like to do underneath first. You can also take that coppery shade in the center if you'd like. I'm blending out that outer corner now. And I'm blending it out almost like I'm creating a wing and then blending in the crease. And then for inner corner, I'm going to go back in with the Stila Kitten stick here and just applying that into the very inner corner. Just a little bit underneath on the inner corner as well. And you can see that it just brightens up the whole eye. I'm just lightly gonna be tapping that underneath my brow bone just to give it a bit of a highlight. To line my eyes, I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in the shade 0. I'm just roughly gonna be doing my top lash line, nothing super precise, but not too thick. I'm not winging it or anything, just applying it so then that way when we apply our lashes, they're very seamless. Gonna apply my NARS Climax mascara now. I always do bottom lashes first. I'm not the craziest fan of this for my bottom lashes just because they make them so long. It almost looks spidery, but I don't hate it, but I definitely love it for my top lashes a lot. I find with this mascara, like, look, that's just one coat and it's insane. So, you know, if you don't have that time to apply 2-3 coats of mascara, this is a really great product because just one layer and you're good to go. So, you know, you're saving money that way as well because you won't need to put a lot of product on that length though. So I have the Cindy R Beauty lashes here. This is the style Enchanted. I am so blown away by Cindy's products. They, like, all the lashes I've tried by her so far are so beautiful. And it's just so great when someone who's so sweet comes out with an amazing product because all I want to do is rave about it because she deserves it so much. Ooh. Cute. Cindy, good job. I'm gonna move on to lip now. I'm gonna be using the Rimmel Lasting Finish lip liner in the shade Tiramisu. It's a beautiful neutral shade just to outline the lip. And just following my natural lip line for my bottom lips because I find that I am bottom heavy for my lips, so I'm just following the natural line here. But for the top lips, I'm going to overline just a bit. And then for top lip, I'm first going to create the X because I do have a sharper Cupid's bow, and then I'm just going to overline that X a little bit more. And then once we have that, I'm going to bring it down. I'm not going to overline the over here too much. I'm just going to bring it down to the natural curve once I get near the bottom. And there we have our lined lips. I like wearing this color just by itself as well, but I am going to add a little bit more color to it. Next, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay Ink Crayon. This is the shade Lead the Way number 15. I'm just applying that in the center. It's a little bit warmer than the lip liner, but it creates that nice illusion of fuller lips. I am going to apply a little bit of a gloss on top, and I know what you're thinking. You're gonna apply a gloss. No, I'm not. I'm actually gonna be applying this Revlon. It's the Revlon Super Lustrous Glass Shine lipstick. This is the shade Glazed Mauve. Guys, this is like lip gloss in a stick form. It is so beautiful, so just beautiful. That's all I can say. Like, this is my go-to during the summer, just the lip liner and this. So beautiful. So I love the texture of this. Hands down one of my favorite lip products to come out of 2020. Alrighty y'all, we are done. That is the full look of an almost everything stick product tutorial. I am like, I can't get over how beautiful this foundation sits on the skin. Again, I know I said it before, but it really does look like my skin but better. I have nowhere to go, but like, I'm really feeling this look right now. So everything, honestly, like, I feel like this should go without saying, but none of this was sponsored. A few of the items were gifted, but all the opinions are of my own. So I hope you guys can trust that. I hope you guys try these products. 100% so worth it. I know that the Huda stick foundation is on the steep price point, but I do believe it's worth it. 100%, like, worth the penny, and that's a pretty penny. So if you guys are looking for something new to splurge on, I definitely think it's worth it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you like this setup I have here, just a clean background, or if you'd like my studio background that is a mess right now. I'm not even gonna show you. Again, I hope you guys subscribe, like, comment, let me know what your thoughts are if you tried any of these products and how you feel about stick products after watching this. I do hope to be coming out with more content in 2021. Gonna stay on top of that motivation. I have so many great things coming ahead, and I hope you guys all are along the ride with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.